Podcasters and YouTubers gathered in their masses to predict the outcome of matches. But now is not the time for singing. The card is set, so it's this Saturday, the 30th of November, live from Vancouver. These are my WWE Survivor Series WarGames 2024 predictions. Welcome to Silo Voice Wrestling on YouTube and the Silo Voice Wrestling podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jason C. McLean. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and of course, ring that bell for notifications to get all my wrestling hot takes, cold takes, simmering takes, wrestling opinion pieces, assorted thoughts on Raw and SmackDown, WWE Premium Live Event reviews, like the review of this one that's coming, and prediction videos. Okay, I'm recording this November the 26th, Tuesday. It's about 2:45 in the afternoon. In fact, I just finished recording my assorted thoughts on Monday's Raw. I basically, even before editing that, I changed shirts and I'm doing this one. So to put things in perspective, that's my knowledge. I've seen the previous SmackDown. I've seen Raw. I have not listened to any spoilers that might have come from the pre-taped SmackDown. So my knowledge is what the public knows, or I think most of the public knows as of this point. Now, this is a 5-match card. I'm glad they announced all the matches before at the end of Raw. So although there's some details I still don't have, I'm able to make predictions on these 5 matches. Let's get started. For the United States Championship, the champion LA Knight defends against challenger Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay, I'm looking forward to this match and this feud. I think it's going to be a really good match and a really good feud. And yes, it's going to be, I think, 3 matches at least. I also think it's way too early in the feud for a title change. So I think LA Knight is going to retain, but he's going to do so by Shinsuke getting disqualified. Maybe blowing the mist in his face or something like that. Because I don't think Shinsuke at this point really cares about the championship as much as he cares about beating LA Knight. I think he eventually plans to win the championship. So I think he's just going to go run roughshod. Like LA Knight's going to do well at the beginning, and then Shinsuke is going to go crazy, but he's going to get himself disqualified. So it's going to set up there is going to be a second and a third match, maybe a title change in the second one, and LA Knight wins it back on the third. I'm not sure, but LA Knight wins by disqualification is my prediction. In a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship, the champion Braun Breaker defends against challengers Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. Okay, this is a bit of a tough one because on one hand, I definitely think Ludwig Kaiser will be Intercontinental Champion at some point when Gunther is still the World Heavyweight Champion. I'm also sure that at some point Sheamus will win the Intercontinental Championship, making himself a Grand Slam champion. It's the one he's missing. But I also really think that they're not going to take the belt off Braun Breaker so quickly again after they took it off very quickly last time for Jey Uso and gave it back to him. So my prediction is, first of all, this is going to be a banger of a match. It's going to be really fun to watch. There's going to be a lot of false finishes. There's going to be a lot of really hard hitting, plenty of spears, bro kicks, beats of the Bahrain, probably maybe on both guys at the same. I don't know if Sheamus's arms are that big. No. I predict that Braun Breaker is going to retain, and he's going to do so by pinning Ludwig Kaiser, and maybe he'll win another match or something like that in the future, and then eventually Sheamus will come back, and Sheamus will win the title, maybe even at WrestleMania, and Breaker will get it back, and eventually Kaiser will get it. Who knows? But for this match, it's going to be a really fun one to watch, and Braun Breaker is going to retain. That's my prediction. For the World Heavyweight Championship, the champion, the ring general Gunther, defends against challenger and former El Campeón, Damian Priest. Now, by all logic, on paper, it should easily be Gunther retaining. I mean, yes, Priest didn't have the best run as a champion last time. He kept it for 6 months, but he was a tweener the whole time. Some of the matches weren't the best, and CM Punk helped him a lot. Gunther was so dominant with the Intercontinental Championship. Yes, he lost to Cody Rhodes, but he's got to win this one back. Of course, the theme of this match might be how Gunther got his groove back, but I think maybe more how Gunther never really lost his groove. He was just kind of playing the wounded animal, so Priest got a false sense of security. I think Gunther is going to retain, and he's going to do so strong. And he's going to say to Priest, look, you bought it. You believed me. You actually believed I was off my game. I was never off my game. I just wanted to show that to you. Who knows? Maybe he'll start off kind of like, not doing so well, and then all of a sudden just come back, bang, bang, bang. 1, 2, 3, Gunther retains. I think it's going to be a good match. I think I do hope that Priest is strong, and the fact is he just maybe underestimated his opponent. Maybe that's it. Yeah, but definitely Gunther retains. In the Women's WarGames match, the team of Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax, Miss Money in the Bank Tiffany Stratton, Raquel Rodriguez, and Candice LeRae take on the team of one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Naomi, and Bayley. Yes, you did hear that right. It's not and probably Bayley or most likely Bayley. It is Bayley. In fact, when I started this video, I had the old graphic, which had Jade Cargill in it still. So I wanted to check on one of my pauses. I wanted to see if there was an updated one with like a question mark or something. And actually, I found one with Bayley, and officially on WWE.com, Bayley's in the match. So that's what we have. Now, predictions. I predict Io Sky is going to do something fantastic, unbelievable in this match. Maybe even Kyrie and Dakota are going to come outside and kind of maybe try and help out like last year, just throw her things. Who knows? I think Bayley, though, is actually going to be the one who gets the pin and the win. In fact, I think there's going to be a lot of, there's going to be the whole tension and doubt about whether Bayley can be trusted or whether she was the one who, took out Jade Cargill. That might come into play at some point later, but I don't think it's going to come into play in this match. I think the focus is going to be on that, and everyone's going to forget about the fact that there's also Tiffany Stratton in there with the briefcase. In fact, I think Bayley's going to get the pin. I think Liv Morgan and Rhea are going to basically probably take each other out, something like that. Like, I mean, that's the big feud. That's going to continue. That's going to be intense. Rhea's going to have some great spots. Liv's going to have some spots. Raquel, the whole thing. But yeah, I think ultimately Bayley's going to get the pin. Maybe on Nia. Maybe somehow Nia's down, because I think this is going to be the only match with a title change. I think after the match, baby faces are going to win. They're all going to be leaving. And Tiffany Stratton, because Liv Morgan is maybe either out of it or doesn't really care. Tiffany Stratton is going to see Nia's down, or maybe take her down with the briefcase as they're leaving, and get the 1, 2, 3 new champion. I toyed with the idea of that happening, except it being a failed cash-in, the first ever women's Money in the Bank failed cash-in, with Candice LeRae, saving Nia. But no, I think it's going to succeed because the men's cash-in failed too. So prediction: Bayley gets the pin, babyface victory. Io Sky does something fantastic, and there's a title change after the match. New WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton. In the men's WarGames match, it's the new bloodline with the self-proclaimed new tribal chief Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Big Bronson Reed versus the OG bloodline, the OTC Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk. Okay, there's a lot of moving parts here, so I don't want to get too convoluted, but first of all, for the Advantage match, which hasn't happened yet, what's happened, but it's pre-taped, and I haven't heard any spoilers. I'm pretty sure Jacob Fatu is going to beat Jey Uso, probably with some nefarious means, and the heels are going to get the advantage. Everyone's wondering, can CM Punk and Roman Reigns get along? I think CM Punk's going to do his part. But I think either maybe before he enters or probably after the match, I think that Seth Rollins is somehow going to get into the cage and take out CM Punk. I think during the match, Bronson Reed is going to do a tsunami off the top of the cage. Either the floor, there's two rings. So one of the rings, the floor can give out. Maybe in that case, he hits it, but he takes himself out in the process, or he misses and takes himself out in the process. Because him actually landing on somebody from the top of the cage with the tsunami, that could like really injure somebody. So I don't think they're going to do that. Maybe the ground's going to give away in one of the rings. Bronson's not going to be the deciding factor, but that's going to sort of take Bronson out of the equation too during the match. I think Sami Zayn will definitely be involved. I think Roman's team is going to win the match, and Zayn is going to somehow be involved in that victory because he's really over him, and they're all going to get along fine. And then after, Seth is going to take out Punk, this and that. And I don't want this to happen, but I have a feeling that Roman's now a babyface. Paul Heyman can't last that long as a babyface. I think maybe the whole thing with the two phones. We had one phone call Roman Reigns, the other one called The Rock. Roman didn't answer. Roman's call to him went to whatever. This number's disconnected. Maybe that's the phone solo broke. But maybe The Rock is the one who told Paul Heyman to come down and put in CM Punk. And Punk's not going to turn heel, but maybe ultimately Heyman is working for The Rock, and The Rock's going to come in after the match, and that's going to be like possibly a Heyman heel turn. I think Roman's team is going to win. I think with the help of maybe Sami and Jay, Roman is going to get the pin on Solo to get him back for that. Not Jacob Fatu, but ultimately there's going to be all these shenanigans that happen after the match. It's going to make it more convoluted. Seth Rollins coming in, taking out Punk. Bronson Reed's already out, so he can't get Seth back. And somehow The Rock coming in and showing his true colors that he's the final boss of Solo's bloodline, setting up Rock and Roman. But ultimately, Roman does get the victory, and there's no way I'll be happy with like Sami Zayn or the Usos turning. I wouldn't like Paul Heyman to turn, but I kind of think that might happen. Anyways, that's my prediction. And these are my predictions for the 2024 Survivor Series WarGames. And notice I didn't predict Kevin Owens coming in. I think eventually he's going to be fighting Sami because of Sami being part of the bloodline again, the OG bloodline, that is. And but I don't think he's going to come in here. I think they want to keep him away from that story because they might risk that he gets cheered in Canada. I don't know, but him and Cody are going to be great on Saturday night's main event. So those are my predictions. Do you agree with them? Let me know in the comments. Follow at Silo Voice Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram, at Silo Wrestling on X, and me at Jason C. McLean on X and Instagram. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. I'll be back with my assorted thoughts on SmackDown and a review of Survivor Series WarGames. Until next time, for Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean.